Welcome to the report for Tiger Mountain, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk tonight about the Donald Trump assassination attempt. Yes, things have gotten that serious. Stick around to hear the views. They've tried to kill him, of course, funnily enough, it's the lone wolf, the old lone wolf, who was allowed to wander around, the perimeters of the Trump rally for a couple of hours, it seems like. I mean, I don't know. If you look into this, it's dodgier than the JFK assassination, ladies and gentlemen, which, as we well know, is incredibly dodgy. It's another lone shooter. It's not Lee Harvey Oswald, it's Thomas Matthew Crooks. And this guy is some kind of loser, kind of 20-year-old who is clearly been bullied and got involved in sublimation of his, unhappy life, and he's blaming, his misery on politicians, particularly Donald Trump, it seems. There's a couple of videos of him online ranting about Trump, there's all kinds of stuff coming out about him. It seems like his family were maybe Trump supporters, for whatever reason he turned against them, and, it was radicalized in some way, got hold of his father's gun, and then, if you look into what's going on, it's just utterly ridiculous that this 20-year-old, completely inexperienced 20-year-old, could get onto the roof. Surely there was a code word that is amongst the police and the Secret Service, which means, I've seen a shooter or something, and to get Donald Trump off stage. I don't know, it's like a secret word like Fidelio, but, there was a police officer who went up on the roof, and the gunman turned on him with a gun, and then he slipped down the ladder and, fell 8 feet. Then he said, there's some kind of, shooter on the roof. That was about a minute before the shooting started, ladies and gentlemen. There's all kinds of things like this going on. Obviously I've done a few shows talking about this. I did Cafe Lockdown this week, No Goat Show. We spoke about it with Michael Gray Griffiths. I did the 4 hours after the event, I did a recorded something with David Thrussell, and then obviously I did the show this week with Sam Newman. Sam Newman's most upset. Obviously, he's a big Trump supporter, and he's convinced now after this that basically Donald Trump will be assassinated. He doesn't believe Trump will become president because he believes they'll try again and they'll probably be successful. That's a sad reality, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that's not the case. I am, obviously Trump positive. I hope that they've had their chance to get him and they missed. There's a new Tom McDonald song out called "They Missed," or "You Missed" or something. So check that out. Sam Newman is quite conspiratorial about it. He thinks there's no way this 20-year-old idiot could have got anywhere near, Donald Trump, and that he was sort of allowed by the Biden apparatus. Obviously, it's not Biden himself because he hardly knows what's going on. But it is the what you call the deep state, in wanting to kill him for whatever reason. I think that's true. Obviously, there are some outlandish conspiracy theories out there, even amongst some people in the freedom movement, that Trump was somehow involved in assassinating himself, or wounding him so that he looks like this hero. That's something a lot of far left people, and I've even heard it from some freedom movement people. I think that's a worrying. I just can't see. I'm not saying Trump could never get involved in a conspiracy. I think he could, but certainly not something like this where there's a bullet whizzing past his head. And the bullet is obviously real because it killed somebody in the stands, this poor chap, I can't remember his name, and, and other people were injured. So, it is a terrible event. There's all kinds of things going on, and you see people within, the deep state and the cabal are getting very nervous. Obama came out yesterday and said that Biden is most likely going to stand down. I've heard other rumours that he could be standing down, not from the presidency, but from re-election as soon as this weekend. So, they've obviously panicked after missing Trump. They have to do something else. You see people like Raskin, who was been attacking Trump over the whole January 6th fiasco, which is, ridiculous. The real conspirators are the real people who are interested in a coup are the people who succeeded and stole the 2020 election. People like Raskin, people like Blinken, people like Klain, Yellen, Mayorkas, Garland, all these, and they're all Jewish, ladies and gentlemen, but obviously they're not the only people who are involved in the coup. There are a lot of others as well, but there are certainly a large large Jewish representation in the Biden government. You just need to look it up. So yeah, look, it's terrible what's going on. There's even shots of the shooter, wearing a skull cap, fighting around. Apparently, I've been told that that's fake news. I have no idea. Maybe it's true fake news in the sense that it might be fake, but it might be speaking to some truth. I can't say. But it's terrible for a Trump supporter. It's been a harrowing week. I don't want to fully agree with Sam Newman because I hope that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States. But, Sam's concerns are quite legitimate. If this was, as it appears to be, a legitimate attempt on Donald Trump's life, why won't they try again and just get somebody a little bit more experienced at assassinating people? There is a rumour floating around at the moment about Iran. There's a plot from Iran to attack Donald Trump. First of all, that is nonsense because Donald Trump would be a far more peaceful president than some globalist representative or a Biden second term or another Democrat second term. It's clear that there's obviously the war in Ukraine that Trump has promised to end within 24 hours. So this is a big deal. How it will play out, we're just going to have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, the RNC is on at the moment, and there's some interesting, colourful characters that have come out of the woodwork. Hulk Hogan has come out and he's declared Trumpomania in a very colourful kind of speech that he's just given that I just saw online before doing today's show. So, very exciting times. I do hope that Donald Trump will be able to be kept alive so that he can win in November and become the next president. But I do understand the concerns of people that he might not, that he might actually be assassinated. We'll just have to wait and see. And I do think this is a time to pray to God, ladies and gentlemen. I do think the way Donald Trump's head was sort of like I don't know, he was sort of like this, I think, and say that the camera there is the assassin. And then he just went like that, and then the bullet went away, whereas if it was there, it would have gone right in the middle of our head. So you see that he missed having his head blown off by essentially a 1 second move, almost a second before. That's providence, ladies and gentlemen. That's an act of God, okay? When someone's taken a shot at you like that. The second and third shot I think he took were off the mark or wilder, but it's always the first, that's the one that they need to hit. I don't know whether this young kid did it. There's rumours that it came from some water tower. It's already more conspiracy theories have developed in the past week than surround JFK almost. So, something very strange was going on no matter which way you look at it, ladies and gentlemen. And, I don't believe Trump was involved in any way. And if you've gone that far down the rabbit hole, whether you be a left-winger or somebody in the freedom movement who just thinks everything's a giant conspiracy, I think you've gone too far. But that's where we stand, and I think it's time to pray for Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope they can keep him alive, because at this stage, it's pretty clear that he'll win after that shot